Alright, so this is this past Sunday. I took out my MJX Hyper Go just to test it out. I had driven it here before, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, as you'll see, there's a little learning curve in the beginning from going from the the bigger cars to the smaller one. But as you can see, this little thing really packs a punch. So you'll see during the video that as I go on, I get a little bit better at controlling it. I am running beat up tires. They're the same tires it came with. I've had it for about a year and done a lot of bashing with it, so the tires are pretty worn. But you can see it still does pretty good. Be happy to see what what it can do with maybe some foam tires, something better. But and definitely a new radio. The radio, I feel like the steering, first of all, the wheel on the pistol grip is huge compared to my regular radio, so it just feels a little weird. It almost feels like there's not much steering, and there's no way to dial in the Expo. So I'll definitely be upgrading to a normal receiver at some point. But yeah, let's just take a look and see how it does. As you can see, it spins out a lot, but it's just a matter of just really giving it a few laps before I really start to get used to it. But definitely a new radio, maybe some good tires, and this thing, as you can see, kind of keeps up with some faster cars.
Oh!
I did notice around the back end right there, anytime I go to turn, it seems to like cut out for a second, almost like brakes are being applied. I don't know if that's the gyro just kicking in, doing its thing to the throttle, but it is very annoying. So hopefully the radio situation will take care of that. But yeah, anytime I went around that back turn and I applied the brakes, it would cut out, and it was very annoying. As far as the receiver that I'm planning on using, I'm going to be using the FlySky INR4 GYB, which is one of their new enhanced receivers, which has a built-in gyro. I would just use the gyro on the one here, because the idea is just to get a better feeling radio. But I feel like the cutout problem is probably due to the gyro that's in there, so just to eliminate any issues with that, I'm just going to change it out completely. Now the receiver is about 40 bucks, a little bit more maybe. It's probably pricey to put in something this small, but this thing is deserving of it. I mean, it's a really fun car. So even at 130, 40, 50 bucks that this costs, it's well worth putting a good radio on it. I mean, it is a really fun little car. And I know there's going to be some comments saying, just drive better, you don't need a gyro. Well, that's all fine and dandy. I do drive, I do race buggies and everything, but you definitely need a gyro on this. I mean, if you don't want to put one, that's fine, as I blast by you down the straightaway as you're trying to keep it straight. No, but all joking aside, yeah, the gyro's recommended, but you definitely want to dial as little of it as possible. You definitely don't want a lot of gyro. You want to do most of the driving, obviously, but you also want it to go straight. This will not go straight without a gyro. Any kind of imperfection on the road will turn the wheel to one side, and then before you know it, you're spinning out. So you definitely need something there, but definitely not a lot of it. You don't, because it will cut out your steering. The driver of the green car is the owner of Cruising with RCs over in Walwood, New Jersey. If you haven't had a chance to check that shop out, definitely check it out. They have a turf track, they have a drift track, and they have some race days during the week and weekends. And but basically Ron can pretty much take control of any car and almost always win, pretty much 99.99% of the time. The only time he doesn't win is something happens to his car. But he's very good at driving any car, even cars that are not made for racing. This guy just kills it all. Anyway, don't want to make his head too big, so that's it. Pretty much coming up to the end of the video here. Hope you enjoyed it, and let's just shut up now so you can watch the rest of the video.
Change the springs on that thing. Ron, you change the springs on that? Not really? How would you get this thing other than going down? Fucking boy. Is that brand new or is just the body?
Oh, it's brand new. Yeah.
You bought it?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so here I'm running my M4 FG, which is the ready to run, except I did upgrade to mobile radio. I'm running mine on 4S, and the Porsche is being run on 6S. You did upgrade to ESC, but the ESC does not take 4S. As you can see, the 4S actually does keep very well with the 6S. And that's due to the short straightaway. Because around the turns, we're pretty much matched up. Straightaway, as you can see, he'll pull away pretty well. And then I have to catch up on the corners. Now, as of a month ago, if you told me I was going to own a 1/5, I would have said you're crazy. But I jumped on these, and it's so much fun. It's much different than racing 110 and 1.7. But when you take that next step to upgrade to one of these, it's on a whole different level. It really changes the way you drive too, because these are heavy and potentially dangerous vehicles, so you have to drive them a little bit differently. They do weigh a lot, so around the turns you have to really adjust for them. The braking, you have to plan your braking, so it's not just immediate brakes like you would find in a smaller car, and all that just makes for a much better driving experience. And especially if you make a clean pass, which is very scary to do on these, because if you hit they sound like a real car crashing because of how big they are. But these things are just amazing. If you get a chance to pick one up, you should. The ready to runs are around $1,300. I mean, that's not much more than like a 110 scale that you buy, motors, servos, and all that stuff, like a kit, like a race buggy. But it's definitely worth the entry fee.
Oh, I think I died. Oof.
That was fun.